What happens when the U.S. military is deployed inside the United States? Under what law can that even happen? And what does it mean for national security and civil liberties? Today, we're breaking down the Insurrection Act and its real security effects. What is the Insurrection Act? The Insurrection Act is a United States federal law passed in 1807. It gives the President of the United States the authority to deploy federal military forces on U.S. soil during extreme domestic crises. Normally, the military cannot perform law enforcement duties inside the country. That restriction comes from the Posse Comitatus Act. The Insurrection Act is the legal exception. Scroll: when can the Insurrection Act be used? The President may invoke the Insurrection Act in three main situations. First, when a state governor requests federal military assistance to suppress an insurrection. Second, when domestic violence or unrest makes it impossible to enforce federal law using normal law enforcement. Third, when a state cannot or will not protect constitutional rights of its citizens. In these cases, federal troops or the National Guard may be deployed under federal command. What happens when it's invoked? If the Insurrection Act is invoked, active duty military forces may operate domestically. The National Guard can be federalized. Troops may assist or replace civilian law enforcement. This can include crowd control, securing infrastructure, enforcing federal laws, restoring public order. The Constitution is not suspended, but the security environment changes dramatically. Locked security effects of the Insurrection Act. Let's talk about the real security impact. Key Cap 1: increased federal military presence. The most immediate effect is the presence of armed federal forces in civilian spaces. This can restore order quickly, deter large-scale violence, protect critical infrastructure, but it can also increase tension and escalate confrontations. Key Cap 2: federal versus state authority. Invoking the act can create conflict between federal and state governments. Law enforcement is traditionally a state responsibility. Federal intervention can raise constitutional and political concerns. Key Cap 3: civil liberties concerns. While rights remain legally intact, critics warn about restrictions on movement, aggressive crowd control, use of military force against civilians. This is why the Insurrection Act is one of the most controversial security laws in America. Brain: why the act is rarely used. The Insurrection Act has been used very sparingly in U.S. history. Notable examples include enforcing civil rights during desegregation, restoring order during the 1992 Los Angeles riots. Its rarity reflects how serious and disruptive its use can be. Bar chart: why it matters today. In recent years, the Insurrection Act has returned to public debate due to civil unrest, border security discussions, national emergency planning. Even discussions about invoking it can have security, political, and economic effects. Direct hit: final thoughts. The Insurrection Act is not just a historical law. It is a powerful tool that can reshape the domestic security landscape overnight. Used carefully, it can restore order. Used recklessly, it can damage trust and civil liberties. Understanding it is essential for anyone interested in national security, emergency management, civil rights, government authority. If you want more clear, unbiased breakdowns of security laws, emergency powers, AI and physical security, national safety topics, subscribe to Prime Security Solutions. Stay informed, stay secure, and stay ahead.